What's up, everybody, and thank you for listening to Mastering the Mindset. My name is Dariusdotch, and I'm an actor, hip-hop artist, and fitness and life coach. And I'm here to personally help you train and improve your mindset so that you can, 1, become the best version of yourself mentally, and 2, gain focus and motivation to be able to take action and achieve the success in life that you want and deserve. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to my channel, and at the end of this episode, if you liked it, please share it with a friend or a loved one or someone who would benefit from hearing this message. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm ready to go on this journey with you, and that journey begins now. All right, and welcome back to another episode. I'm so glad y'all made it back to another one. I'm excited to give you this one. Let's just go ahead and jump in. So let's talk about how you can transform your beliefs and unlock your potential. Let's dive into something I came across called self-perception theory. Let's take a deep dive and look at who we are as a person. And we're all on this self-improvement journey, right? And one of the main things you need in order to get any progress or to be able to make any changes is you have to have self-awareness. And what I'll do today is help you to truly understand yourself more within the framework of self-perception theory. Self-perception, how you perceive yourself when you look at yourself, when you think about yourself. So this theory comes from psychologist Darrell Bim back in 1972. And the theory basically says we develop our attitude, our beliefs, and our feelings based off observing our own behaviors, and coming to the conclusion on what made us have them. So introspection, right? Self-observation. A lot of times we can do things and we don't actually think about why we're doing them, how it's affecting us, how it's affecting our mindsets, our lives, and other people. A lot of times we don't take a step back and ask ourselves, is this something I want to keep doing? We be like, oh yeah, that's just me. It's just how I am. It's how I always been. I always just been a little angry, had a short fuse. That's just who I am. And that ain't true. That ain't who you are. That ain't at the root of who you are as a person. That's who you decided to be. That's who you chose to become over some period of time. And nothing is set in stone, right? And you weren't born that way. Things happened along your life that got you here. If there's something about your life or something about yourself that you don't like, you can decide to change it. You can. Same thing with your beliefs. Nothing is the way it is forever. Change is the only thing in the universe that's a forever constant. There will always be change, and we'd be crazy if we thought that we were the only things in this entire universe that can't change. To think that you are the way you are and it's going to be that way forever, that's crazy. Your entire body changes every 7 to 10 years, literally. Your cells in your body are constantly replacing themselves, all 7 trillion of them, including your bones. It takes your bones around 10 years to completely replace itself every 10 years. So literally, your entire body is different. No part of you is the same except the way you think and act. You're deciding to stay the same person, and that's consciously and unconsciously. Either way, it's still a decision. But if you want to stay the same person, you're probably not going to be listening to this kind of podcast. The fact that you're here means that there is something you want to change, whether that's your life, your thoughts, your habits, your relationships, your goals, and how you attack them. So how do we use this self-perception theory? And it's kind of simple. You observe and question everything about yourself. Start to test the validity of all the thoughts you have. Okay, so not that simple. But when you're in the jar, you can't read your own label. When you're in your own mind, you can't actually step back and look at yourself and be perspective of the things you do every day. So you have to take yourself out of the jar, out of your mind, and look at yourself as if you were a different person looking at you. Look at yourself in third person. You got to say, okay, the way this person just reacted, this dude who everybody calls Dotch, the way he just reacted, is that the kind of person I want to be? Is that how I would want to react to something like that? Is that who I truly am? Okay, I just got triggered by something. Is this the way I truly am? Do I want to be the kind of person who responds like that? Read that label on the outside of the jar. This self-perception thing really requires a lot of reflection and insight. And most people won't do it. Most people can just be lazy and would rather do nothing, but rather think they can't change and don't even bother to even attempt. Like I say all the time on here, the majority of people you know won't even try the kind of self-development that you're doing, even when they know they should, even when they know they probably really should change. So ask yourself this thought process: is this who I want to be in the future? And if the answer is no, then you have to change it. But it takes work. And if you ain't going to do the work, then you're wasting your time listening to me. You might as well listen to something else that'll make you feel better or do something else. But I know you will do the work because you're here. But anyway, so the self-perception works because it pulls from two psychological principles. One is cognitive dissonance, and two is inferential insight. Inferential insight. So definitely something I had to do some research on to learn about a little bit more. So with cognitive dissonance, it's a state of, let's say, tension that pops up when your behaviors conflict with your attitude or personality, or with who you believe yourself to be, or when somebody says something that conflicts with who you are, with your beliefs in some kind of way. Cognitive dissonance is a good thing to have. It shows you where you're stuck. Now, inferential insight is basically your ability to place meaning or conclusions on those observations. You have the observation, whether that's cognitive dissonance or any regular observation about who you are and who you believe yourself to be, and come to the conclusion about what it means. So let's say you have a moment of cognitive dissonance. Let's say you go into work, or you go to the store, or you meet with a colleague, or you're out in public somewhere, and either something happens or somebody says something to you and you get triggered. You feel that dissonance. You feel something inside you that disrupts your peace. You went from having a cool day to now something inside you ain't happy no more. You might be pissed off, might be anxious, might be sad, might be irritated, fearful, whatever it might be. These moments are some of the best moments to show you who you are. Being triggered shows you where you're stuck. Everybody tries to go through life, and that's me included. We try to go through life without ever being triggered, without ever feeling triggered. But like I said, it shows you where you're not free. So ask yourself, why am I triggered? And first, you should take a step back, take a second to calm yourself down. Because how does that old saying go? When emotions run high, logic runs low. It's true. Science shows this is facts. When your emotions are high, when you're angry, sad, anxious, frustrated, your logic is low. And what happens is when you get this way, it turns off a part of your brain called the prefrontal cortex. You end up not getting as much blood to your prefrontal cortex, and you don't actually think as well. It's where your executive functioning comes from. That's why folks get in ugly arguments and they end up saying things they regret a few hours later because logic is low. You end up thinking to yourself that you should have never said that, right? You never should have let that get that far, but you did, and it's because your prefrontal cortex wasn't working at full capacity. So again, the first thing you should do is calm yourself down, take deep breaths, remove yourself from the situation, and then start asking yourself questions. And if you need to take out a pen and paper in that moment, do that. But start asking the questions. When you become triggered, become interested. Say, okay, what is that? Take yourself out of the jar, read that label. Again, calm yourself down first. But get curious. Why did I act like that? My boss said something that triggered me. Why? Figure out what's going on. What was I thinking? What led me to feel this way? My boss said this thing to me. It made me feel underappreciated. I feel underappreciated because I've been busting my ass at work. And if I feel underappreciated, then in turn, I don't feel valued. And if my boss don't value me, then how long will I actually be at this job? Figure out what happened inside you. And once you do, then question the validity of those thoughts. Like, okay, my boss said this thing to me. Does it actually mean they don't value me as an employee? Does it actually mean I need to find a new job? Did they even mean it in the way I took it in the first place? Or am I just being triggered because I'm tired? Because I've been busting my ass for the past month. Then you can say, well, look at that. I'm figuring out that when I have a lot on my plate, I can find myself getting triggered when I don't feel like the work I'm doing is being appreciated. How do I get past that? How do I navigate these situations for the future? Because I'm a hardworking person and I'm good at my job. What do I need to do in order to not end up back here? What's up, what's up, what's up? I want to take a quick moment to say thank you so much for listening to this episode and to also let you know that this podcast is 100% donation driven, which means it's completely funded by you, the listener. So, if you like the content I have to offer, I would love it if you can make a donation and you get to pick the amount. I left links in the description of the video as well as my homepage. You can choose which way benefits you the best to donate. And if you need more options, please feel free to email me at dariusdotch@gmail.com. That's dariusdotch@gmail.com. Again, thank you so much for being here, and let's get back to it. And this could get uncomfortable. It can, especially if you start digging deeper on more serious things that trigger you. You can wind up going down a road that you didn't start out on and figure out that some things from your childhood are manifesting themselves in you right now as an adult. Things from you being a teenager. Like for me, and this may seem like a real obvious one for you, but for me, I'm just finding this out within the last few years. But the death of my mama when I was 15, it still has effects on me now. Surprise, surprise, right? But for the longest, and I still struggle with this, I struggle with opening up to people. So many times people tell me I'm closed off or I don't open up, especially when it comes to talking about my mama. People would always ask about her and how it was for me when I was younger, and I would literally start to get annoyed. I would get frustrated. Like, damn, get out of my damn business. Why are you asking me these super personal questions? And I would hardly talk about her death. I would hardly even talk about my childhood like that. But I had to realize, slowly, of course, because again, I'm just now figuring this out. But I had to realize, Dotch, this ain't normal. How many people do you know who lost a parent that don't have any problem talking about their parent? How many times has somebody else who lost a mother or a father start to have a conversation about it and you feel this tug inside of you and you don't feel like talking about it? That ain't normal. It's okay to open up to people about your mama's death. They're literally doing the same thing. They're opening up to you about their own. Those conversations would have me triggered. So yeah, my point is, figure out what your triggers are and why it can lead to you being uncomfortable. And a lot of folks don't want to do that. And the thing is, all of these things are inside us. If I was to take an orange and squeeze it, what comes out? Orange juice. Same thing with us, with humans. If you take us and you put us under pressure, what comes out? Well, anger, frustration, anxiety, fear, unspoken traumas, unhealed, broken relationships, pain. It's all in us. And when we get triggered, it pops up. Being triggered is a gift. It shows you where you ain't free. Like I keep saying, it's a gift. It shows you what you need to work on so you improve yourself. But it takes that influential insight. It takes you looking within and figuring out the root of it. So, going back to the self-perception theory, find your beliefs about yourself. Figure out if those beliefs you've been living by, the beliefs that you identify with, that you've told yourself are you, find out if they align with your actions, with who you're becoming. Then you examine the actions you take and ask yourself, are these actions in alignment with who I want to be or who I'm becoming? And again, not easy. It takes time. It takes intention. But if you can do this, you can start to change yourself. If you really want to change, you got to start looking outside your own jar and at the label. And again, not just when you're triggered. I know I spend a lot of time talking about triggers, but your beliefs about how you think the world sees you, about the kind of person you want to become, about what you're doing right now as you work towards that goal you have. Are these things in alignment? Self-perception plays a very important role in who we actually become. So that's what I got for you today. Like I always say, man, I appreciate you being here. And if you found some value in this episode, I would appreciate it if you can please share. I'm trying to grow this thing as much as I can, and I need your help to do that. So please just share it with somebody. And also, I'm going to leave you with the song, and I'm going to leave a link in the description of this episode with all my music so you can tap in and put me in your playlist. All right, let's get it in. Dotch. Hero and villain. I hate this feeling. I gotta make a decision. Do I save him or kill him? And it won't take long. Step back as I take off. Keep up, I don't race y'all. This shit just a cakewalk. It's a S on my chest, so make me take my cape off. I don't call these women hoes, just know I don't save y'all. Smoking on that Harvey Dent, feel like half my face gone. I changed the weather like storm, I can make her rainfall. Hero and villain, a package deal. Y'all gon' make me act for real. I'm hard body and I'm fly, acting like the man of steel. But I feel like Jason Voorhees, they know I came back to kill. I might wear my mask for real, y'all might need some daffodils, but I'm gon' kill y'all later. Posted up with my Princess Leia, I hit her with my lightsaber, she calling me daddy, I feel like Darth Vader. She want a sequel, I said I'll be back, like Terminator. I'm not hard to find, they know who he is. I'm spotted with my dogs, like Cruella de Vil. Am I the hero? Or am I the villain? I'm trying to get money, and for me to save it, I gotta go kill it. I look in the mirror, I can't see a difference, like really who is it? That sun go down, you find me in the city, hero and villain, turn up, hero and villain. I hate this feeling. It's time to let them all know I'm not Dr. Jekyll no more, so you can't hide. I'm charged up like Goku. I let my Dragon Balls hang down to the floor. And we don't want a sidekick, fuck even a Robin. Cause I'd rather be on our own. Cause we got a Suicide Squad and we in the Justice League of our own. Boy, I'm really fly and you really high, man. What kind of tree is you on? Boy, you look like Swamp Thing. Cause you can't leave that seaweed alone. Hero and villain, I prove it. Soon as one of y'all start snoozing, they start sleeping, I start killing. I feel like Freddy Krueger. And they dying just to get on my level. Bossed up like King Cooper. And thank the Lord to my future wife, cause that woman will be super. Hero and villain, I feel like Bruce Banner, controlling my anger. You don't wanna see me go Hulk again. You better be smart with it, like Tony Stark with it. I will dive on you like Aquaman. I dove in the ocean like Aquaman. Like Professor X, she can't walk again. Cause I gave her this bad, man, and made her go crazy like Harley Quinn. I feel like a hero. Or am I the villain? I'm trying to get money, and for me to save it, I gotta go kill it. I look in the mirror, I can't see a difference, like really who is it? That sun go down, you find me in the city, hero and villain, turn up.